Are you coming outside? Are you coming outside? How cute are you? There you are. Hi, Ruggy. So, one of the things that I struggle with in playing is being consistent and practicing and getting better. And I know for a lot of you guys who are new students, you struggle with the same thing too. So I wanted to share some ideas that I have on how I stay consistent, because when you're playing and you want to grow, the moment that you quit is the moment that you get back in a rut, and that's what you don't want to do. So here are some tips for you guys about how to find practice time. I know we have a lot of new students, and it's fun when you first join a new piano lesson group or you learn something new on the piano, you find a video that you really like. But then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and it feels like, okay, now I have to figure out how to really practice. Hey, Lisa, how to really change the way I play. So if you guys can let me know in the comments how many of you have joined lessons, or if you're currently enrolled in any of the Tune Bucket lessons, whether it be piano coaching or the At Your Own Pace lessons, because I want to help you guys along your journey. You're inspired in the beginning, you're really excited, and it's a new thing that you're doing. And with any new thing, okay, I'm gonna unplug this microphone again. Hold on just a second. Check. See, oh my goodness, the difference is crazy. Okay, I learn on YouTube. That's good. When you're starting out your journey as a new student, you have to know that the inspiration is going to last for a little bit and then it's going to go away. That's very normal. That happened to me. I remember wanting to learn to play the piano as a kid and then reaching my teenage years and telling my mother I hated the piano, I wanted to quit piano lessons, and I never wanted to play again. And what if she would have let me? That would be really sad, because what happens is when it comes down to the commitment, the consistent practice, that's the part we don't like, and that's very normal. It's easy to kind of feel like, oh man, I don't know if this is for me, and maybe I should just quit, and you kind of give up. And that's what happens to a lot of us, and I think that's especially in Tune Bucket, because we reach primarily a lot of women, and life happens. Maybe you took lessons as a kid and then you quit. Maybe you tried to pick it up in your 20s and then you quit again. And that's because you have to understand that the playing journey is very normal. It's normal for you to feel discouraged. So at some point. So what I want to do today is to give you guys some real practical tips that you can use in order to keep growing, because your journey is a long journey. You're in this to grow your playing, because once you learn something new, if you stop at that point and don't learn anything else new, then you're going to feel like you're stuck in a rut. Okay, so the cycle repeats itself if you're not constantly learning and not constantly pushing yourself. So one of the first things that you have to figure out for yourself, and this is different for everybody, is what your practice schedule is going to look like. And maybe it's different for every day. Okay, I tend to work better if I practice first thing in the morning. Even though I love to play and I love the piano, there are so many other responsibilities that I have that get in the way of me actually touching my piano, learning a new song, even learning a new trick. And so if I discipline myself to do it first thing in the morning, and also tell myself it doesn't have to be long. Now, sometimes I'll get into practice and I'll be inspired and it'll be fun. I'll be learning something new. It'll be clicking and I'll want to practice a little longer. But you'll be surprised what just 10 or 15 minutes of practice will do. Okay? It's going to inspire you because you're actually doing the thing you want to do. This is your dream to play better. You are going to feel more confident about your playing, which goes a long way in you being able to learn new tricks, learn new songs, because a lot of it's in our head, you guys. I can't learn that. It's too hard, and we've never tried. Okay? A lot of that is in our head. So it's going to build your confidence, and it's going to keep you from getting rusty. What happens when you do not touch your piano, then you start getting rusty in keys like G flat, B flat, G, B, D flat, and then you kind of like regress and start playing in your comfort keys of whatever they are. What are your comfort keys? E flat, F, C, and you stick to those keys, and you're not progressing. You're kind of going back in your playing in order to just keep yourself comfortable. Is that Kelly? Music says, what is the best method for learning to solo? I don't really teach a lot of solo stuff. That's not really my lane. But if you're learning anything new, it's focus on learning one thing. This is what I teach in the coaching group, is when you're learning something new, focus on just learning that one thing and learn it until it comes so natural that you play it without thinking, and then learn a new trick. Okay, because often what happens is we'll learn a song, maybe it has a cool chord or a cool trick in it, and we only learn that in that one song. And then if you play that song in your church 5 times a year, then you've only played that trick 5 times. It's not changing the way that you play. And that's the goal here, is for you guys to change the way that you play. So what I encourage students to do is when you learn something new, so say you guys are in At Your Own Pace lessons and you are practicing the song Breakthrough and you learn a cool trick in Breakthrough, I want you to take, this is why I teach by number, because when you learn to play by number, you can apply tricks to any song, because songs are just numbers, 1 through 7. It really is that simple. Hey, Elena. And once you learn that trick, if it's a trick on a 4 chord, then you can take that same trick, play it on almost any song, because almost every song has a 4 chord in it. Okay? So now every song that you play, now you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't play the trick every time you play a 4 chord, but you have the ability to play that trick in every song that you play. So now you're changing the way that you play. You're not just learning a new song, which is what you guys want to do. You want to play better. And then if somebody gets up and starts singing a song spontaneous in service, and it's, let's say you're playing, you're like, oh, they're going to a 4. So you play a 4 chord, then you can add that trick in there. Okay. That's how you build your confidence. I have recently been working on a progression myself, and it's been probably a month and a half, maybe a little over a month and a half now. I just want to set the groundwork for you guys and your expectations. And I just now feel like it comes natural. Okay? So I want to normalize that for you. So if you're practicing something new and after a week you still can't get it and you feel like, this is how I felt, I thought, oh man, why can't I get this? Like, I teach piano lessons. Why is this so hard? It's maybe my brain is tired. You know, you have different things other than you trying to play the piano that are a part of your life. So you are a mom, you have a job, you know, maybe you are living alone, so you're the person responsible for everything in your house, including your taxes and all this kind of stuff. So you have these responsibilities that weigh down in your brain, and sometimes our brains just don't click. And that's what mine was doing. Mine wasn't clicking. And I was honestly starting to get discouraged, and I thought, what if I can't learn this? What am I going to tell people if I literally cannot get this trick? How embarrassing that's going to be. And then one day I sat down at the piano, and this is how it works. One day I sat down and I started playing it, and it was coming natural and it was easier. And I thought, Now all this time I've been practicing and been a little frustrated and had to practice. Sorry, I accidentally touched the keyboard. Had to practice just in sections because it was this progression was challenging for me and I wasn't getting it. And I thought, well, maybe I just can't get it. But what was happening is I was needing to learn it and keep practicing it so much that it became a part of my playing. Because if you're having to look at the keyboard when you're playing the piano, and I've noticed this in church, if you play in church and you're constantly looking at the piano, then you really, how do I say this? I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but you haven't learned the song or the trick to the point where you can play it naturally and play it in worship. By the time that you reach a church service, you should be able to play a song confidently and be able to worship. That's the goal. Because even though you're not singing, you're playing, you're still a worship leader. Okay? And so if you're looking down at the keyboard and the worship leader is giving signs, maybe verse 1, or they want to do the chorus again, and you're so focused that you can't follow them as they follow the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God's leading them, right? And you can't follow them because you're so stuck on your keyboard, then that becomes a hindrance, and that's not what we want. We want to be able to flow and to follow the Spirit. Does that make sense? So, being super comfortable with whatever you're going to play is key. Hey, Erica and Morgan. And when it comes to practice, oh, I need some water all of a sudden. Sorry, guys. My throat just got instantly dry. Sometimes when it comes... Hold on. Okay. Hallelujah. I'm back. Sometimes when it comes to practice, if I have a day where it's like, oh my goodness, how am I even going to get everything else done? How am I even, let me slow down, gonna get dinner made? Okay, we have church tonight, and I miraculously meal planned this week, which I have not done in a very long time. And I plan we're going to have lasagna for dinner, but it's frozen lasagna. So I'm going to go put that in the oven in a few hours. And thank the Lord I won't have to prep anything except for a bagged salad. I'm telling all my secrets to you guys. So I can adopt that same mentality to practicing. What is a way that I can practice today where it will get done? Okay. So sometimes I'm sitting down for even 5 minutes, practicing the trick, the new trick that I'm learning. And in my mind, my goal is I'm not trying to master this today. I just want to get it done. I just want to practice it. Okay, now this isn't the goal for every day. You guys understand what I'm saying. But on those days where it feels like I just don't have the time, I can't do it. If I just sit down, even play through it once, play through the progression once, what it does, and somebody who's smarter than me can probably explain this in the comments, but when you study something over a period of time, or you practice something over a period of time, in your brain, it starts to solidify and it starts to connect. Okay? So even sitting down, playing it one time, I promise you're going to get up from the keyboard and you're going to feel like, I just practiced. Nobody knows you practiced for 2 minutes, sister. You practiced that one run for 2 minutes, but you revisited it in your brain. You played it with your hands, so your muscle memory is connecting, right? Your hands and your brain are your muscle memory. And so that builds your consistency. So make sure that you're focusing on consistency, okay? And keep in mind that there will be times when you practice something and you're like, oh, I have this, it's so beautiful. Your playing is going to go through seasons, and there will be times when you try to play a new song and you think, this is terrible. I'm butchering this song. There's no way I'm going to play this for service. Like, the people in the congregation are going to laugh when I try to play this. You might think that. That's normal. That's normal. I've thought that too. But just remember that your consistency in practicing is key, okay? So if you're trying to learn a new song the Saturday before church, it might be a little difficult for you to really play it with confidence in service. It's like cramming for a test the night before. Some of you that may work for, that never worked for me. I had to study consistently because I forget. And what I've seen musicians and singers do is they do try to cram the night before, and then for Sunday service, they get up with blank looks and they're like, how does this song go? What's the intro? What are the words to verse 1? What? Can you sing the bridge for me? You guys are laughing because you've heard it. I've been there. I've heard it too. And I've seen singers, I've seen them kind of freeze and think, they don't know this song. Lord help us. So those are my practice tips for you guys. I want to normalize what it looks like to get better on the piano. So often we see videos on social media of people learning new tricks, and we think, man, I should be able to master this in 2 days, or I should be able to be further along than I am. And that's just not normal For some people, they have the luxury of practicing hours, and that's not our story. That's why you're here, because you want to be able to grow in the way that works for you. So I hope these tips helped you. Apply these. Let me know how they work out for you. If nobody's told you today, guys, I believe in you. Okay, you do have what it takes to be an incredible musician. But what you have to do is take the skills that you have and learn how to apply them and learn how to use them in a way that works for you. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.